Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on my channel. It is Kevin here and it has been a minute since I put out a video and I really want to talk to you guys about that. I apologize if you can hear the hammering outside. I didn't realize until I started to record that they are still fixing things on the apartment complex. So let's talk about where I've been, what I've been up to, what's going on in my life. Where does one begin when they don't know what to talk about, you know? Okay, I've just been struggling to write and like my writing. And I've talked about this a lot on my channel before because I do love writing and I do love storytelling, but I do suffer from depression, severe clinical depression, as well as an anxiety disorder. I've talked a lot in my past about how I don't believe that mental health, first of all, in the US is just not taken very seriously to begin with. I mean, we've come a long way, but it's still not taken seriously enough. And especially in publishing, I think that people suffer from things. People have issues, and I just feel like we don't address them like we should, you know? But I've been dealing with a lot of self-doubt about my writing, about my person, just in general, you know. I think since COVID hit, a few months, 6 months into quarantine, I've just been struggling with a lot. I put on that quarantine weight. I haven't been writing as much as I want to. My life's just been kind of up in the air. And so I think that I've just been like going through a lot, you know? And I know we all have. I want to put my heart out to everyone out there who's also going through things. I understand that this is a very difficult time, and I want to fully acknowledge that I know there are people out there who have had it worse than me. I know there are people who have lost people, and it's like awful, you know? I think though that, you know, everyone's feelings are valid about, you know, what's going on in the world, and it feels like every day things are just getting worse instead of better, and it's really hard. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I've struggled to write. Now, I can't blame all of it on outside sources. I know that, like I said, I'm dealing with self-doubt. And it's so interesting to me because I've always kind of had self-doubt about my writing, right? I think a lot of people do, even people that have already been published. I think that there are just a lot of people out there who have doubt about their writing, whether it's good, whether it's good enough, does it, you know, compared to other people's, how does it stack up? And I thought I had come away from that, at least enough that it wasn't I didn't think it was affecting me as bad as it was. And I finally reached out to my agent and I told her, I was like, you know, I'm struggling with writing. I don't have any faith in my writing. I don't feel like I'm any good at it. And I feel like every time I'm writing, I'm just sinking time into a project that may not sell. And it feels like a wasted time. And she sent me back this really nice email. She gave me some advice. You know, I asked her if she had any advice, you know, like, what do you do? What are some things that you tell other clients that are struggling? She sent me back some really good advice. And so when she said that, I was like, you know what, you're right, because I do love writing and I do love storytelling. And these are stories I do want to get out, and I can't be so focused on if they're going to sell. I need to write them because I enjoy them and because I enjoyed the story process. And I watched this interview with George R. R. Martin. I watched a lot of his interviews. I probably watched all of his interviews multiple times. And I had not seen this one before, so I think it was newer. Well, newer, like right before COVID. He even said, like, no one likes writing, you know, like it sucks. It can suck. No one likes writing, but we all love it, you know? And that's so true because I think that you can really enjoy the process and really enjoy storytelling. We all love it, but we all hate it, you know? Like, it can be such a grind, but we do it because we love it. And we do it because we love the art of telling stories and writing and coming up with worlds or characters. And I think that kind of fell away from that. And I think that I lost that sight of why I started telling stories in the first place. And I was so focused on the end game of the story of it selling and not focusing enough on the telling of the story and the process and the love that goes into it. And I think that, you know, when my agent said that, you know, she told me that advice, I was like, it really hit me that I want to find my roots back to why I loved writing. I want to go back to the beginning of remembering the very first time. I remember the exact day, the exact place I was, the exact moment. I was an 8th grade helper, which meant that we could sign up to work with a teacher in my school. And like, so certain ones would help clean out the science teacher's animal cages, or that's the only other one I remember besides the one I had. So what it was is that I had a favorite English teacher, and he needed somebody to help because he had like a library, which he had a ton of books, so like I guess it was a library in his classroom. And so he needed a helper to come, like, because he had them alphabetical, and so, like, you know, people would like grab them, put them, mess them around, and so he needed a helper. And I applied, and he applied. I don't remember the process, but I remember getting it. And one day I was just like, we were talking about, I think it was Lord of the Rings actually, and I was organizing his books, and he told me, and I told him, because we had a project, we had to write a short story when I took his class. I was talking about Lord of the Rings. I was talking about how much I loved that. I remember him saying to me, you know, Every one of those books that you're, you know, rearranging on the shelf, every single book on that shelf, that was that person's job to write. And it could be your job. And I remember it hit me so hard that writing could be my job. Storytelling could be my job. Like I know nowadays, like full-time job, you know, we're not gonna have that discussion, you know, we all know it's very difficult to be a full-time writer. But I remember just like, it could be my thing, my calling, my job to write stories and do something I love, and other people will read it and love it. And I could be like all these authors on the shelf. You know, he had hundreds of books, and I remember you know, he told me, he's like, every single one of these people, this is what they did, and you could do that. And to this day, I get chills. I literally just got chills, like thinking about it. I know that sounds corny. I was a weird kid in junior high. I went through a really weird phase. My sister, Laura from Laura Writes, she can attest to this. I went through a really weird stage. I was, you know, chubby, weird looking, didn't have the best personal hygiene. I was awkward. I'm still all of those things, okay? And I just remember feeling isolated. Like, even though I had friends, I had my family, I remember feeling isolated. And I had books though, and I had that English teacher, which I still remember his name. I had him to talk about books with, and I had books to read. And, you know, I did have friends, but they were like, you know, junior high friends, like they're surface level. They're not like deep friends. I didn't talk to any of them about writing or reading or whatever. I just was thinking about that earlier after I read the advice from my agent. And I remember I was thinking about that moment and like realizing that's what I want to do. And I feel like I have lost sight of that. I have lost sight of what 8th grade Kevin wanted, which was to tell stories in the capacity he could. I do have friends in publishing, and I think that it's great to have friends in publishing, but I like was taking it in the wrong way, where I was like so hyper focused on the publishing aspect, because I talk to my friends a lot about publishing, and I love all my friends. I'm not shit talking on any of them. I love all my friends. But when I was talking a lot about publishing and watching them do all these different things, you know, I wanted that. And I think that was another reason why I lost sight, because I was so hyper focused on the end goal that I just forgot why I started. I want to get back to that. I want to get back to the love of storytelling and the love of writing and the hatred of the hammer. I'm probably repeating myself because I'm just really kind of working through my feelings as I record this video as well, because I think that there are probably others out there who are like me and have lost the sight of why we started. And we get so hung up on these arbitrary goals of, well, I need to publish by this age. I need to sell this many copies. I need to have this many books come out in a year. I need, you know, I need to write this many words per day. And we really lose sight of why we started, you know? And I think that a lot of us need to step back and remember why we're doing this, you know, why we're telling stories. I just think back to little old 8th grade me, and when I was lonely and I'd read books. It sounds cheesy again, but they really were an escape for me because I was so weird, and they were an escape from a life that I wasn't very happy with, you know. Freshman years when I really started to experience anxiety and depression, and I think I was starting to feel it in 8th grade and didn't realize it, so books really helped me out. I want to be that person. I want to write a book that kids can disappear in if they need to, if they need just 10 minutes alone from the world, that they can use my book for that. I would love for my book, obviously, to like blow up and have tons of people read it, of course, because, you know, we do put all this time and energy and love into these stories that we want lots of people to read, but I'm doing it because I love to tell stories, and I'm doing it because as much as I hate writing and how much it can suck sometimes, I love it. And so I need to remember that, and I'm going to. So going forward, I'm going to fall back in love with writing, because we've been in it's complicated relationship for a very long time. Was that a MySpace thing, or is it Facebook? And I feel like, does everyone here remember that it's complicated? Like relationship status, it's complicated. That's how I feel like it's been with me in writing for years now. And I want to fall back in love, you know? I want to fall back in love with writing and storytelling and books, to be honest. I haven't even been reading as much as I used to. And I feel like I tie so much of myself to who I am, to my writing and my creativity. I've talked to my boyfriend Damien a lot about this, that I feel like my writing defines who I am. While I love it, it's not who I am. You know, my worth is not tied to if I sell a book. That's another thing I need to remind myself of, is that I love it. I love doing it, but I am valid as a person outside of it. And that's what I've been dealing with lately. That's what you missed on Glee. I know that I've made videos like this before, and I can't guarantee that, you know, I won't again in the future, because I feel like this is an ongoing struggle that I have with myself, with my writing, with my depression, with my anxiety. I don't know if this will be the last time I make this video. I don't. I hope it is. I hope that this path, this journey I'm on to fall back in love with my writing is the journey that gets me to fall back in love with my writing. But will it be? I don't know. But I do hope that anyone who's watched this video maybe got something out of it. Just like with my writing, my videos, I always hope that you get something out of my videos, you know, whether that's entertainment. That was very strange when I came and stopped recording. It wasn't even recording for that long. But just like my books, my writing, I hope that people get something out of my videos, whether that's entertainment or some kind of knowledge. I hope you're getting something. So I hope you're getting something out of this video. Maybe it's helped you. Maybe it's helped you think about your relationship with writing and your self-worth, because we are worthy of life and love and things outside of what we produce. We're not machines, and we are not made to be writing machines. We're just people making our way downtown, walking fast. Now I don't remember what I was talking about. I apologize, I got a phone call. So going forward, I hope to have videos come out as often as I can mentally and writing wise. I don't want to force myself to write just to get a video out, because I do feel like part of being on YouTube is this need to produce content. Obviously, I feel like any social media is, but when it comes to how like videos you make are tied to how much you produce writing wise, I feel like it can have an effect on that as well, how you feel towards your writing. I'm hoping to have at least one video come out a week. I did a weekly writing vlog for so long. I think I did it, I don't remember. It was like months and months and months, a couple of years ago. And I want to get back to that because I did enjoy that, and I did enjoy writing. I want to get back in love with my writing. I want to get back to posting videos regularly when I can, and I hope that all of you got some kind of fun out of this. I know that I'm usually way more bubbly, or I don't know if bubbly is the right word, chaotic, but I just wanted to be serious in this video. Not that isn't, the chaotic me isn't also me, but I feel like if I was flailing around talking about this, you know, it doesn't seem like I'm being as serious, and I am being really serious about this. I want to get back to loving it and listing it. I don't know, I just have so many like things going through my mind, so many like HGTV. I don't know why I made a lovely list of reference. On top of my writing and stuff, Damien, my boyfriend, and things are just happening in our life coming up, and it's gonna be a little chaotic. So hopefully you're here for the chaos. Okay, thank you for watching, everybody. I love you all very much. But if you like my video, make sure you hit that like button below. And if you love my video, make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you never miss another one of my videos. And I will see you all later.